Let's talk about another dumpster fire with the Denver Broncos. Ooh. Sean Payton thought he had it figured out when he brought Russell Wilson, hopefully back from the dead. That did not work. They finished the final 6 weeks last season 2-4. Not pretty. Not pretty at all. And some will even argue that the roster got worse during the offseason. Mm-hmm. I would be one of those people that would argue that. I do think it got worse. And they had one of the worst defenses in the league in the bottom 5 last season.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at that. Here's the chart showing how bad they were in every category. 27th in points per game, 29th in yards per game allowed, 22nd in pass yards allowed. That was the highlight. The highlight of the defense was they were 22nd in pass yards allowed, 30th in rush yards allowed, so you could run all over them. And then Sean Payton, the offensive wizard, wasn't much better. 19th offensively points per game, 26th in yards per game, 24th in pass yards, 18th in rush yards. When you look at those stats, and then you look there at the bottom where it says they finished 8-9, it's amazing they finished 8-9 when you look at those numbers.
Yeah, but don't worry, Tristan, because they have Zach Wilson, they have Bo Nix, and they have Jarrett Stidham at quarterback, so they're going to be fine.
Everything's cool.
Don't you worry your pretty little face, because they're going to be okay. They open at 5.5, and buddy, I'm telling you, I'm hammering the under here. I have them winning no more than 4 games. They have the 8th ranked hardest schedule in the NFL, and I just don't think there's any piece of this team that can make it past 4 wins. When you look at their schedule and look who they're up against, they do not match up well on either side of the ball. This offense is going to be abysmal. Anytime, I'll tell you what you need to do. Every week that somebody plays the Broncos in fantasy, pick up that defense that's playing the Broncos, because you're going to get points. You're going to get interceptions. You're going to get fumbles. It's going to be terrible. I don't know that Sean Payton really understood what he was walking into at the Denver Broncos.
I said at the time, if you remember, before he got hired, I said the Chargers should fire Brandon Staley and hire Sean Payton. Obviously, it worked out better for them. They got Harbaugh, so good thing. But if you're Sean Payton, don't you kind of wish you would have waited a year and tried to get that Herbert gig? I know Sean Payton's a good coach. I understand that. But to me, a lot is riding on Bo Nix, and I don't think he was a first-round quarterback. Honestly, it wouldn't shock me, and I wouldn't mind it if they went with Jarrett Stidham. I don't think they will, but I think that might not even be a terrible idea. I'm not expecting them to, but it really comes down to what you can get out of this quarterback. The offensive line should be good. Like, it should be better than it looks. They have really no powerful wide receivers. Even Sutton, he's not a burner or anything. They have a solid group, but nothing crazy. They're going to need to run a lot of RPOs. The ball's going to have to come out quickly. They're going to have to play on time, play on schedule. That was one of the things that really bothered Peyton about Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is one of those quarterbacks that likes to play off schedule. He likes to run around and wait for the play to break down and scramble and find someone open. The problem is he's not as talented as he once was. With Bo Nix, I think Bo Nix will do what Peyton wants. I think the ball will come out on time. They'll get it out very fast, get these RPOs, get the ball to the playmakers you do have. Even so, though, I don't know if it's going to be enough. The defense has some good pieces, but I just don't think they're a cohesive defense. Linebackers kind of suck. The corners aren't impressive. And the defense is going to struggle against good quarterbacks. And they have to play a lot of good quarterbacks. I think just on Sean Payton alone, I'm going over. I find it hard to believe they only win 5 games. I mean, they went 8-9 last year. I actually think they might be a worse unit overall, but you can't tell me they can't find 6 wins somewhere. If Sean Payton's still any kind of a good coach, they're going to steal 6 games somewhere. So I think over is, honestly, I think over is an easy bet here. Not that I think they're going to be good. I just think they're going to win more than 5 games.
Yeah, well, if he tries to steal 6 wins, you forget that who he's stealing from are heavily armed. Mm-hmm. And so it's going to be really difficult. I still have him at 4 wins, man. I looked at the schedule. This is one of the ones I actually sat down and went game by game and said, where can I find the wins? Yeah, maybe they hit 5, but I just don't see it, man. I'm telling you, this is going to be a terrible team this year. And honestly, I don't know, as a Broncos fan, even the Broncos organization, how long can you let Sean Payton ride on Sean Payton's name? How long?
Good question. I think if you're being realistic, it kind of boils down to what you see this year. If they win 5 games this year, just say worst case, they go under, they only win 4 or 5 games. but you see a little bit of promise in Bo Nix. Okay, just say, like, I know maybe they suck. They only win 5 games, but you see some flashes. Like you see,
we saw flashes at Oregon.
Oh yeah, exactly. Say you see even what Jordan Love showed the first half of last year when Jordan Love wasn't great, but you saw enough to be like, I can see a little bit more. I think that'll be enough to get Sean Payton another year. So I think regardless, he's going to be coaching in 2025. But I think that season's going to say a lot. If the Broncos aren't a playoff contender in 2025, Sean Payton will be gone.